Let's all go to the lobby.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Ah, classic Baron and Hampton. You know, when I listened to them on the radio, it was...
Questions as long as they're not important. Does anybody have
Yeah. Like, what day is it? How is it outside?
Things they want
Please
answered.
do any questions that are going to upset people who aren't here yet that we talked about. So anybody got anything insignificant that you would want to ask? I see somebody back there. Go ahead.
Yeah, where's the $10,
Where's the $10? Anyway, let's keep it rolling.
Hey! Joel!
Fortunately, I'm a cheapskate.
Joel, you and your
and I never
low-stakes
pay up. I
gambling.
will gladly pay you Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
He's got you there, Joel. Next Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Too much.
Supposedly the Danish version is the good version.
Oh, that's what was missing,
That's
the
what-
Danish language.
Yeah.
And there's a song in it, I think it's online, but the guy does, the comic, what's his name?
Dirk Passer.
Dirk Passer has an actual
Okay.
theme song that he sings to children in the
About
Danish
Reptilicus?
version. About Reptilicus in
Oh.
the Danish version.
And you looked at
So we would have loved that. Yeah.
Whoa.
When you were trying to bring the show back, a producer told you that the fans had no power. Have you been in contact with them since the Kickstarter?
He's dead now.
Awesome. Anybody else? Yeah, here we go.
About on average, how many times does it take to watch a movie before your eyes start to bleed and you just
10 minutes.
How many times? Yeah, that's a great question. I can field a little bit of that. You know, this first season was a real shakedown cruise because the Mystery Science Theater has never been made this way. And so we had a lot of things to figure out. That's why it took longer than it usually does to figure out pre-production, production, and post-production. So I think, come walk with me. I think that if you think about it, great, you know that? Thank you. We did have to watch it more than normal. And I'm a little bit afraid to say, but I think I've watched Reptilicus 50 times. But
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever have to do that again. I think traditionally when we made the show it was about 10 times per show. But this one we had to figure out a lot. This was a pilot episode, so we had to solve all the problems with this one.
There was a time too when you're watching a movie like this and there's like no place for a joke, and Elliot, our head writer, was just like, he's like, we got to figure one out. I said, no, we don't. Just say it sucks and let's move on. We got some more Dirk Passer scenes to get to.
I was just curious about the decision to add the commercial break segments.
Oh yeah, the bumpers. That was really for the original fans of the show that are used to watching it on tape and are used to those moments with the commercial break. But I think in the back of my mind I was kind of thinking that it would just be useful to have those little breaths in there. It just is something that we inherited from the TV version of the show, commercial TV version, and I wanted it to be in there, even though, as you know, there's no reason for it. We do get to use those to reiterate things about the show that people may not understand. Like I think in this one we talk about the doorway sequence, is that right? We do things to, as you know, Patton's doing the voiceover and he's kind of reiterating things about the show, but he's also embedding and explaining things about the show that people may not understand about it. So I really like it because it just gives it that kind of feeling, and it gives you a little palate cleanser to kind of go, okay, we're going to tuck back into another 9-minute riff section. So yeah, oh, here's one right here. How convenient. Yeah.
Too convenient.
Joel said that the first host segment, about 30 minutes in, was the most difficult of the season. How was it for you?
So, I get sent the song, and it's more words than I've ever said in my life. And Paul, Paul Sobran wrote the song with Joel and Elliot, and it was just Paul Storm, yeah, and I was like, so do we have some time until we get to this? And Joel's like, no, man, we're doing this first.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, and so that was the very first thing. Like, I got up on stage, I'm still reeling in the fact that I'm on the satellite love surrounded by two old friends that I've never met, and then I got to start rapping. Yeah, it was insane, and I was like in my car constantly going, Reptilic is silly, Reptilic is silly, but he really is. Congo's Congamano is a manga flying, I must look like an idiot.
I remember when I saw you that day, I said hello, and you're like, Reptilicus is silly, but it really is. I was like, oh, okay. You're just saying it to everybody. Oh, what?
I wanted to use the mic and say something. No, is there another mic? We're gonna have to keep trading mics. I just want one mic.
I think that is
my voice is high in this one. Oh no! Thank you. Thank you so much. I was going to say, pardon me, I'll take that. Thank you. All right, thanks. The thing I wanted to do with that one, once we got to it, and it turned out so good, when we got the originals, we got the sound bed from Paul and Storm, everybody loved it, and we just said, let's put this one in right away to kind of be... The idea is to get people to sign off on these guys, on how talented they are. As you'll agree, they really are great, right? And that's the concept.
I mean, you've seen it up here tonight with the chair. Classic.
I mean, look at this prop stuff they got going.
Hello, remember those old cell phones? You guys are a lot of fun.
just a couple of carrot tops.
Now y'all in the back can't see this, but
Oh, I found some keys. That's fun. Anyway, open your hearts to laughter. Good night, everybody. How are we doing on time? Do we fill them up with enough comedy?
yeah. What? Yep.
How are we doing, Ivan? How much time do we have left? Because
Well,
when
keep
do we
on
bust
asking.
out the robots? But I just want to know explicitly how much time we have. I don't want to...
Yeah, say it with a swear word in it.
advantage to me. 17 fucking minutes, thank you. Okay.
Well, there goes that TVPG, goddammit.
Oh, we have a question back here?
Yeah.
Hi, so very excited the show's back. Is there any significance to the Mads names, Max and Kinga?
Well, not really, it kind of dawned on me based on the way Trace and Mary Jo look, and this show's from Minnesota, and I just felt like, wouldn't it be really fun if the Mads were Norwegian, and Kinga is like a big Scandinavian name in Minnesota, so that just kind of fit. But Max there's a lot of reasons why Max fits, but one of the references we used to use, and the way we created the Mads initially, Trace and Frank, was the movie The Great Race with Jack Lemmon and who's the guy who plays Max?
Peter Falk. Good guess, I think.
Peter Falk. And so his name is Max, and he even says "Push the Button, Max" in The Great Race, and that's where we got "Push the Button, Frank" is from The Great Race. So it was just kind of going back to that. And also in they call the character Max in The Knack and How to Get It, which Woody Allen appeared to borrow heavily from in Annie Hall, and he calls his friend Max. So the buddy in The Knack and How to Get It, I can go on and on with this. It's really fascinating. But anyway,
OCD.
I get into my Asperger-y mode when you ask me stuff like that.
We'll go back to you.
So I've always been a big fan of the visual gags, and I was wondering if you could talk about the decision to really ramp those up in the new season.
Where did the
Did
big
you see
hammer
any?
come from?
Did you see any visual gags? Yeah?
Like the silhouette, like Tom flying and... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's just like, it seemed kind of fun. Seemed like fun to do.
It's just, it's nice to have like another thing to write for,
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, you really hit the jackpot,
I'm
friend.
just letting
Ivan, can we get that line?
Where do you get your ideas?
We've got 4 more back here.
Hi guys, being from Minneapolis, I was really excited to see that you have Harmar Superstar involved in the show.
Playing Gypsy, Rebecca Hansen, and you get to see her more in the second season. She also plays, you see her in the opening and she's playing Pearl Forrester's clone. What's that? Oh, second episode. Sorry. Nerd!
If you will look into your study guide, you'll see there is no second season, but there is a second show. Is that what you meant?
Well, she's great. She's very funny improviser from Chicago.
Yeah, she's awesome. So you'll get to see more of her, but she's actually in the opening, and you can see when they're pushing Kinga's ziggurat, that thing that looks like an altar through Moon 13. That's Rebecca, and she plays Cynthia, who is Pearl Forrester's clone.
And she has 2 parts, yeah.
And she plays it so amazingly weird. It's incredible.
And also, as you know, Pearl Forrester, Bobo, and Brain Guy will make appearances throughout the series.
Got one more over here.
I just had a comment and a question. First comment is I think that everybody's probably going to be really happy with how this turned out, and I'm, for one, really happy about how there's still an incorporation of old references. There's Gilligan's Island.
I rented this tux at Vindy.
And the award goes to La La Land!
I knew it, moonlight robbed again.
What light?
Any questions for the bots?
What?
How do you like the new guy?
Well, he smells the same as the other 2.
But he's much taller, so my headroom has gotten better.
Thanks, guys. That was less mean than I thought I was going to be.
Quiet, you.
Sorry.
Thanks, Jones. More questions!
Sorry. You guys' eyeballs don't work as good as mine on the planet. I forgot.
I put on a tuxedo for this!
I'm so sorry. I forgot to alter your ocular systems. Hey,
You, meatball!
Yes, you.
That one, Crow?
How did you end up back on the side off the base?
How did these guys end up back in space?
Yeah, how did they get back up?
From the apartment? Oh.
We killed our loopers!
We got one more question here for the robots. We're going to tie it all up in a neat little bow. Just make sure it's a killer question that we can get out on a high note. Okay?
Really nail it!
What you got? Really nail it. What do we got?
Hit the
Here
mark!
we go, right here.
I've always loved Tom Servo's killer voice.
Oh, thank you.
A demo of an operatic thing.
Yes. I do have an operatic
I don't
thing.
think I want to go out on that one.
Oh, well, what were you going to ask?
No one wants to hear about my voice.
No, your voice is shrill. My voice, however, chill. I guess, did you want me to sing a little tune? Give it one note.
Could you maybe do an impression of Bowie? You know, it'd be a really great tribute.
Oh, sure, of course. I'm a big Bowie fan. You know, especially all the stuff in space. I'm familiar with it. Let me just warm up a little. Bumblebee, bumble. All right. Quiet, you. All right, let's see.
You should hear him snoring.
This is ground control to Major Tom Servo. You've really made the grade. On the paper, this is not America.
He's going to go on for a long time.
This is not.
Wow, even
What about Tom Servo?
You remind me of the Babe. What Babe? The Babe with the power. The power of voodoo. You do. Mommy of the Babe. I'll saw my baby crying hard as Babe could cry. What could I do? Turned into Prince at the end there, but I missed them both.
Anyway, thank you so much. What a great night. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you for all your help. Appreciate it. Thank you. And of course, that great cast.
Give it up for Russ and Grant, everyone.